What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about 5 press releases and drills to work on each one of those 5 press releases, okay? We're going to be talking about a single jab release, a wide step release, a double tap release, a diamond release, and then a slide release, okay? So I hope this video gives you guys some value. Let's get started. All right, guys, so the first release we're going to be getting into is a single jab release, okay? So how this video is going to work is we're going to kind of talk about the release, when to use the release, the specific techniques behind it, and then I'm going to show you guys a drill that you guys can do to work on it, okay? So now the first one is going to be a single jab, like I said. So what is a single jab? That's when you're lined up, you got a DB who's maybe inside shade, and you're just giving one jab with the front foot to the inside. So it's really important on this release that you guys step, you throw your hip, your upper half turns to really try to threaten this DB to the inside, because the DB is going to be watching your hips. If you don't actually sell by throwing your upper half into the move, we're not going to get him to move off the platform. So this drill we got is we're going to have 4 cones right here. All we're doing, shooting, there's like a line going through the middle of those cones, and you have to step over that line, okay? So you're going to start at the very back of these cones. All we're going to do is go on a go call or at your own pace. It's going to be one jab to the inside, next cone, one jab, next cone, one jab as well, and then we're back up. You could burst up off the top running a fade route. I'm going to show you how this is going to look full speed, but it's very important that you get into a good stance. About 70% of your weight's on that front leg, and we're throwing to the inside, bursting back up, show you how it's going to look full speed. All right, guys, before we get into the next release and the next drill that we're going to be emphasizing, I want to talk to you about a great opportunity that we are having this offseason. We are traveling to 9 different cities for 2-day-long quarterback and wide receiver training camps. Okay, so we're going to be coming to Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California for 2-day-long quarterback and wide receiver training camps. We're going to be doing 2 days of position-specific training. We're going to be doing 1-on-1, 7-on-7. We'll have a dedicated DB coach out there as well. So if you guys are local to one of those areas or want to travel out, train with myself and train with my staff, check out that very first link below. We'd love to have you out. Spots are going to be limited, because I would think of this more as like a training clinic, not so much a camp, because we're only limiting it to about 10 to 12 spots per camp. So if you guys want some more information on that, you want to come out and get some great work in with us, check out that very first link below. All right, guys, so this next release we're going to be talking about is a wide step release. So a wide step release is exactly how it sounds. You're literally stepping with your back leg, and you're stepping wide outside of DB's frame. So what this would be used for is going to be used for kind of an inside release route, like maybe a one-step slant. Maybe you're trying to get inside leverage and run a dig route, a post route, whatever it is. So you're going to need the same 4 cones, and all we're going to be doing is all the way down the cones. Instead of giving that single jab, we're going to be doing that wide step. So we're going to be stepping with the wide step over the line. It's really important that you guys are selling fade on this. We're trying to make the DB think that I'm going outside by turning my entire upper half and actually stepping outside of his frame to move him off the platform. I'm going to show you how this drill is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so the next press release you're going to be getting into is a double tap release, okay? So what is a double tap release? A double up release? There's a couple different names for it. So what that is you want to make sure it's a double step. So you're stepping, it's going to be a 1-2, and you want to make sure that you are stepping in the direction that you are going first. So let's say I wanted to take an outside release, right? So if I got an inside shade DB, he's lined up inside shade press. If he's inside shade for a reason. His goal is to force me outside. So what I can't do is I can't just take off and run. I got to give him something to threaten him back to the inside. So if I wanted to go with the double up release, what foot do you think I would step with first if I'm on the right side? I would step with my right foot first, throw back to the inside, and then burst up and take the outside release to force him to stay honest, but I'm stepping in the direction I am going first. That's how we want to think of this. So for this drill, you're going to need 4 cones. All we're going to be doing is just taking a nice light jog up to each cone, and we're going to be working a 1-2 at the cone, just to work on you guys throwing your hip into this. Same thing as the other 2 releases we talked about. If I'm doing this double up, it's real important that I'm threatening this DB, I'm threatening his leverage, and I'm actually stepping outside of his frame or stepping to sell the slant back to the inside. So again, we're just jogging up to this first set of cones here. Jogging up here, 1-2, jogging up to the next one, 1-2, and I can burst down, either keep my head down, run a fade, burst off, run a slant, whatever kind of route that you guys want to work on, but just make sure that we take it nice and slow, under control. Don't be super tall with your pad level. Hit that 1-2 and burst up. I'm going to show you this thing's going to look full speed. All All right, guys, so the next release I want to talk to you about is going to be the diamond release, okay? So what is a diamond release? A diamond release is where you have maybe an inside shade DB and you have to run a slant route. I only like a diamond release on a slant route, but what it is, I have an inside shade DB right here. I'm taking off and I'm going 3 hard steps to the outside, trying to get him to commit his hips to the fade, then I slip right back underneath. So with this diamond release, it's very important that when we come off, we're trying to get a DB to bite, I gotta be in full stride. I gotta make sure my shoulders and my hips are committed to the break point, because what a lot of receivers will do is they'll burst step and they'll start to turn before they hit that 3rd step. And that's an indicator to the DB that you're trying to slip back underneath. We got to make sure that I commit my shoulders and my hips. I'm in full stride. I'm able to put the brakes on that 3rd step. So now that break off that 3rd step requires a lot of ankle stability, requires a lot of knee stability, a lot of leg strength, and that's what this drill is going to be emphasizing. So we are literally doing a diamond release back and forth from each one of these cones, okay? So now we're going to start at that bottom cone there, taking 3 steps to the right, 3 steps back to the left, 3 steps back to the right, and bursting off. I'm going to show you how it's going to look full speed, but it should look something to where they're like this, and it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, coming back and forth. So I'm going to show you how it's going to look full speed. Great drill to work on that diamond release. All right, guys, so the last release we're going to be talking about is going to be a slide release, okay? So what is a slide release? When do we use a slide release? So a slide release is a very patient release that you guys would only want to use when you are a 3rd or a 4th read, maybe a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th read on a specific play, depending on what it is. So maybe if the quarterback's doing like an RPO, play action, throwing to you, and you don't want to get to the window too fast, I only like a slide release on a slant and a fade. So what a slide is, like maybe let's say, for example, again, I got an inside shade DB, let's say I have to run a slant, but maybe this time he's about 1 to 2 yards off instead of pressed up right on the 1 yard line. So he's in that like catch technique, as they like to say. So again, he's inside shade, I have to run a slant route. I have to work and operate out here, but sometimes you don't need to get to the window too quick. If I do a diamond release and I get him to turn his hips and I'm to the window, that quarterback might not be through his progressions yet to give you the ball. So you have to slow the tempo down a little bit to get that, to make the timing of the play work, right? So when I come off of here, it's more of like, so what you would do is you could either kick behind with your back leg or take a little prep gather step with your front foot to slide you out wide. So it's like a shuffle, a slide, however you want to think of it, but you want to get to that range to where the DB's forced to make a decision. He slides out here, DB either has to jump with you or sit to the inside. If he sits to the inside, that can open up a fade for you later in the game. If he jumps to the outside, that's when we hit him with a crossover and run that slant. So this drill's to work on that. So you keep the same pattern as the diamond release. You're going to start down here at this cone. All we're going to do, we're going to slide to here, come back, slide to this one, and then when we slide to this one, we're gonna go 1, 2, working that same double up that we just built off, run off, and catch a slant, okay? I'm gonna show you this thing's gonna look full speed, and it'll make a little bit more sense, but make sure that we are sliding, trying to get all the way to that cone, and slowing down that tempo. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all on any of those releases, on anything that we've covered in this video, or anything wide receiver in general, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as soon as I can. I always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to hear from you guys as well. And again, fellas, if you want to come out to one of our 9 off-season training camps this year, we're coming to 9 different cities. We're coming to Houston, Texas, Tampa, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and then Los Angeles, California. So if you guys want to come out, you guys are local to those areas, want to make the trip out, we really appreciate it. Check out that very first link below. I'll see you guys next time.